Welcome back to this, already the final segment of today's Price of Business, and I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. One of my favorite things, features that we have here on the program is my weekly visits from our good friend, Charles Alvarez. He's an extraordinary coach with CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com and helps businesses take their companies to the next level. I've seen him do it with companies that I'm involved in. I've seen him do it for other companies out there. Charles, good to see you.
Always good to be here, Kevin. Good to see you.
Tell us a little bit more about your firm and introduce us to your guest today.
Well, what we do is actually make my guests today life more complicated by generating more sales, generating more leads, to where they have to hire new people to come in to get the business to the next level. So we work with companies to help them generate leads on demand, close more sales, and get more productivity out of their team. And one of the best ways to measure that is having your books in order, which is what Tu Dao with Accounting in a Box is going to talk to us today about. So, Tu, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Kind of tell us a little bit about your background and your firm.
Okay, yes. So I have a small CPA firm, and but we're not a traditional CPA firm. So we mostly known as the accounting in a box. And what it means is that for a traditional CPA firm, they usually do not get involved with the day-to-day accounting activities of a client. You don't see a CPA firm send somebody to a client to pay bills and create invoices and process payroll, but we do it all in our office. So we combine the bookkeeping, payroll, accounting, and tax services all in one place. And a lot of small businesses love that idea because in order to have accurate financial reports in a timely manner, sometimes you need a CFO and a controller and account payable, accounts receivable people, and for small business, you can't have it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Charles?
So, Tu, why would somebody want to have somebody that, to put their books in order? What value does that bring? I mean, isn't that just good for like your end of the year tax return, just so that you're compliant with the IRS? Is there any other value into having a bookkeeper or doing your accounting or having financial statements?
Absolutely. Accounting, I think the majority value of the accounting, of good accounting, is not for tax services. I think it's more for your own business. So that way you know where you make money, if how much you make, who's your biggest client. That help you to make strategic business decision. And a lot of our clients, when they came to us, is because they couldn't get a loan. Because they couldn't get the loan just because they couldn't get the financial reports in a timely manner, or they couldn't answer the question when the investor asks, okay, who's your biggest client, how much you make, what's your profit margin on certain things. So I think good accounting is not for tax reporting is one side, but I think the biggest value is for your own benefit.
So how old is your company?
It's almost 10 years.
Very good.
Yes, we started on January 2006.
Very good. Charles?
What Tu just said there is extremely important. We actually call the financial statements, which is your P&L and your balance sheet, the truth. You know, people can talk about all they want about their business, about how good it is, how bad it is, whatever. But when you have a P&L statement that shows your gross margin, your operating margin, and you have a balance sheet that shows your assets, that really does allow you to make great strategic business decisions. To kind of walk us through as to what kind of what are the couple of metrics that any business owner in Houston should look at to determine as to what the health of their business is?
Yes, I think first thing would be cash flows. You don't want to have negative cash flows, and that would be very stressful. And also staying in compliance, meaning some people have cash flow in the bank. Let's say you look at your bank account, you have $100,000. So you have that cash. But then at the same time, if you haven't paid the payroll tax for $80,000, so your real cash flow is only $20,000. Now, if you don't know how much taxes that you owe, then you would run the business with the illusion that you have $100,000. But reality is you only have 20.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like government all of a sudden. Yeah, I think there's a lot of delusion going on all levels of government. By the way, the website is Accounting in a Box. That's accountinginabox.com. Go ahead, Charles.
So, kind of walk us through a case study as to, an example of in the recent history as to where you've added value to a client. Like, kind of give us an idea of, what the challenge was. You mentioned, needing financial statements in order to get a loan. So, kind of give us an idea of the value and the power of your service by giving us an example of how you service a client here recently.
Okay. Yes, we have many successful stories, and you can see the reviews on Google and Yelp and on our website or on LinkedIn. So the very often that after they outsource their accounting department to us, now they have financial statement in order. They can get a loan. Or the most recent situation is that this client, we have been handling the book for 7 years, and they got audited by the IRS. Instead of going to their office, they would come to our office. And so we presented the book. In other words, we represented the client. So we took away all of the hassle, and the audit came out with zero tax liability. So they don't owe any tax, and it's hassle free, and they like that.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I want to give the website is, again, accountinginabox.com. And is there any specific businesses, types, verticals that you work with in general?
Well, we work with many different industries, but the size of the business that we work with is for businesses with 1 to 200 employees. Mm-hmm. And we work with both international business and local business. International meaning the business here in Houston that are owned by foreign country like UK. We have a few European owned businesses.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Charles, want to wrap it up with the final thought?
Yeah, for you business owners out there listening, or those that have your side businesses that want to turn it into one, if you don't have a complete set of financials, including, P&L statements, cash flow statements, and balance sheet, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because as Peter Drucker once said, the things that get measured in your business improve. So if you're not looking at your balance sheets, if you're not looking at your financial statements, it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint the 1 or 2 areas that you need to improve on a go-forward basis. So I highly encourage you that if you do not have an accountant or a CPA on your staff right now, either on staff or outsource, really give Tu Dao at Accounting in a Box a call. She does excellent work.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't measure it, you really aren't going to improve it. No question. It's very profound. And by the way, you can reach Charles at cornerstonebusinessacademy.com. And when we come back, much more for you on tomorrow's program. But do want to remind you, the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Meanwhile, the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While they're like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and have a great rest of your day right here on this station.